Yo, what's going on? What's happening? They said by 2024, which is now, so I guess that they're saying like later on in the year that black people will have about 1.8 trillion spending dollars. And I think that some black people think that that's a good thing. And all actuality, it is if you're spending that money on in your community, but we don't. So I'm just trying to understand why people are celebrating or wear that as a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? They say that the average dollar circulates in the black community for one hour, and then it's back out. It's back out. So yeah, true indeed, we're good. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to spending, we're great consumers. That's one thing that we have down pat. We can buy things. No matter what type of financial difficulties we're in, our priorities are screwed up. I've seen people where, no lie, this is my word, and I know some of you all know these type of people. I know some people that live in the projects that look like they don't live in the projects. And what I mean by that is, based on their appearance, all of the European name brand clothes that they have on, you would think that they lived in a 4-bedroom house, with a Mercedes Benz and like middle class like. These people stay in the projects. I know a lot of New Yorkers that's like that. A lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when New Yorkers first started coming to the South, and I wasn't no snitch or nothing like that. I ain't say nothing. I just shook my head. But when a lot of New Yorkers started coming to the South in the early 90s, and they tried to pop that joint, like they big time in New York, and I'll be like, yo, where you from? And then I'm like, I really don't know that area, but I know what you're talking about. I know, kind of like where you talking about it. And if I didn't know, I would call my family members and they would tell me. And I'm like, yo, my man, stop fronting. You live in the hood. Don't come down here and front like you big time. But that's what black people do. It's all about appearance. It's all about how you look on the outside. But your infrastructure, you know what I'm saying? Your priorities are fucked up. You have no infrastructure when it comes to your life. And this is the reason why we're in the situation that we're in. Yeah, it would be nice if that 1.8 trillion spending dollars was spent on ourselves. But it's not. So what are we bragging for? I mean, you want to brag that you made Mercedes Benz rich again? Wealthy? Wealthier? Versace? Louis Vuitton? Gucci? I couldn't live in this day and time. You want to know why? Because nowadays, you can't even wear Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger, name brand, Caucasian name brand clothes, such as Tommy Hilfiger, Polo and all of that. People not wearing that like that anymore. That's like kind of like hand-me-downs. Now people are wearing high-end European fashionable clothes. The Balenciagos that cost $1,000. And that's crazy to me. And what we fail to understand is, as we continue to be consumers, we're just digging ourselves more into a hole. To the point where it's not even we're at the point where we can't even dig ourselves out. We have buried ourselves. Straight up, alive, in debt. And that's real. That is real as real can be. As real can get. And black-owned businesses, man, please. Let me ask you all a question. This is real. What is the average black-owned business objective? Like if you don't have, in the crisis that we're in, if you don't have an objective to pick your community up, then there's no need for me to support you. Real talk. What is your objective? Is it that I'm supposed to give you money because you're black? Because if that's the case, it's pointless me giving you money. You want to know why? Because all you're going to do is take the money that I give you and put it or invest into another community. That's it. Outside of your race. So really, what is the main objective? Because every time I pull up at a black establishment that's black owned, I don't see a black owned car. I don't see them wearing black owned clothes. I don't see them having, I don't see them doing anything that's like, if you are black owned businesses, you're supposed to be black on black times 10. That's real talk. What is your main objective? If it's not uplifting the community, if it's not giving back into the community, then what is the point? Because I can tell you, when the small hats, when they have communities, guess what? They're making their selves richer and wealthier. They're picking each other up. What is the black-owned businesses doing? With the exception of getting money, getting rich, and spending it on other communities outside of their community. That's real talk. That's business 101. Real talk. If you are trying to establish a business and you calling it black owned, then it's supposed to be black owned. You're supposed to be taking that dollar and spending it on another black owned business and another black owned business and another black owned business to lift us the fuck up. Other than that, what's the point of you being open? I might as well go to Target to get whatever I need to get. Because for one, black owned businesses are too goddamn expensive. For two, I'm not saying all, but there are quite a few black owned businesses that don't know how to run their business. In other words, what I'm saying, the customer service is horrible. And for three, oftentimes, the product isn't even good. And there's no 100% guarantee and none of that shit. So we can sit here and talk about, $1.8 trillion spending, that's 1.8 spending trillion dollars that we have. But we're not putting it into black-owned businesses for the obvious reasons that I just mentioned. And then also on top of that, if we did, what is the main objective? See, nobody never really thought about that. And then y'all want to crucify me when I say I don't support black-owned businesses. Why? Why am I going to support a black-owned business and they're not doing anything? I don't want to hear charities and all of that shit. We all know that shit could be tax write-offs. I'm talking about building a brand new Black Wall Street. Straight up. That's what I'm talking about doing. And if you're not establishing something where we have a community of our own, we have our own movie theater, our own beauty salons. Let me lay off of that because shit, there's a billion, trillion beauty salons. This is one thing that bothers me about black-owned businesses. They're so predictable. You know what I'm saying? It's either a beauty salon, a barbershop, what else? A soul food, a restaurant, and what else? I'm trying to think. Nails, what else? That's about it. Really, black-owned business can be anything. I could be selling sneakers online and call it a black-owned business. That's not saying anything. And this is not how the game is played. See, black people keep on playing fucking games. Ain't nobody else playing games, my nigga. Straight up. Nobody else is playing games. We in, as they would put it, we at the end game. And right now, if we don't get our shit together, we gonna, man, it's too late to get our shit together. What am I talking about? We're permanently the race of the have-nots. Because this is what it was all for. This was all for hyperinflation, all the rest of that shit. It led up to this. It's either you have or you have not. And of course, as usual, black people are on the side of the have-nots, pretending like they got something. Y'all trip me out, man. Y'all act like Mercedes Benzes, the Teslas, all of these cars that you all brag about having and wanting to have. Y'all act like this shit don't run on an assembly line. Like they don't make millions of these fucking cars. They don't make millions of Louis Vuitton belts. It ain't like you got one of a kind. I can understand if you had one of a kind. But y'all go into the store, man, shit's crazy, man. Y'all going to the store purchasing shit that anybody could purchase if they have a certain amount of money. In other words, you're looking like a fool. You're a walking billboard, a walking advertisement. That's the reason why I stopped wearing labels on my fucking shirt. Because I'm not going to buy a shirt that got your name on it. I'm not going to advertise your brand, your name. That shit don't make sense to me. You might as well give me the shirt for free. But I'm going to pay $60 and have your name all over or your symbol all over my shirt. Let me tell you something, man. If I could tear the fucking emblem and the logo off this car, I would. Black people are fools. And it's crazy that everybody want to be like us. And it's crazy. You want to know why it's crazy? Because black people make slavery look cool. I said it. We call each other niggas. We live in these poverty-stricken places. You might as well say the slave quarters. We're still picking cotton because guess what? Money is 75% cotton and 25% linen. We do whatever master say do. We always trying to prove something to master. It's crazy. Yeah, I said it, man. Black people make slavery look cool. That's real talk. We ain't got a goddamn pot to piss in. 1.8 trillion spending dollars. We are slave to everybody. The Asians, they come into our community, sell us cat, rat, and dog. They come into our community. I've said this a million times over. They come into our community and wear masks over their face while they're spraying acrylic, putting acrylic nails on our women's nails, on top of our women's nails, natural nails. Spray painting them shits. And you wondering why you got a cough and all the rest of that shit. Well, I'm just going to give you a word of advice. I'm not going to tell you to stop getting your nails done by the Asians, but at least when you're getting them done, wearing a mask like they do. Because the fumes that you're inhaling from that acrylic spray and the paints and all the rest of that shit is toxic. The Italian, he don't even work in the pizza shops anymore. He get the Mexicans to do it. The Asians and the Hindus, the East Indians, whatever you want to call them, that smell like fucking cumin and curry. They motherfucking run the beauty supply stores. They supply our women with fake hair, perms, relaxers, relaxer kits, texturizer kits. Hachba runs the corner store. Man, come on. The list goes on. We're slaves to everybody but ourselves. But ourselves. And that's real talk. We want to live in their neighborhoods. We want to drive the cars that they drive. We want to wear the clothes that they wear. Don't you understand? Seriously, none of these European clothes are made for black people. That's why a lot of black people look stupid in them. Straight up. None of them. I can't wait to see the day. Maybe I'm going to have to die and come back. You know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to see the day where I'm living in a community that's for me. That the clothes that I wear were made for me. That the food that I eat was made for me, that was conducive to my body, to my melanin. Not no slave food called soul food. Not no Chinese food. You notice that? When the weekend comes, when it's time for black people to go out and eat, they eat everybody else's food but theirs. What you want today? Man, I think I could go for some Chinese food. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. You know, you want to get let's get some Italian food. I don't know, man. I don't know. Nah, I'm feeling like, I don't know. Feeling like some Russian food or some Portuguese. It's always something except for their own shit. And then when it's their own shit, like I told you, it's the slave food. It's the small and large intestines of a pig called chitlins, doused with hot sauce. It's the fried chicken. It's the potato salad. It's the macaroni and cheese. It's the shit that is gonna take your ass straight to the hospital and having you on pills and shit, and them opening you the fuck up. That's crazy to me, man. All we do is spend money that we don't have. Because you know what? Guess what? This is what they said by 2024, blacks would have 1.8 trillion spending dollars, right? But they never talked about how much money blacks save. They never talked about how much money blacks invest. Because see, money is a tool, it's a resource. That's what it is. Yes, sure indeed, you get your essential things with money, but then you use money to make more money. That's the name of the game. It's real talk. But we haven't gotten that yet. And some of us don't even want to get that. Some of us just want to just spend money and live this ghetto fashion life. This ghetto fabulous life. And I don't even know what the fuck is fabulous about being ghetto. I guess you just want to stay in your place. And that's fine. But when you stay in your place, don't call yourself black. Don't even live in a black community. Call yourself a nigga. Because that's the rightful title that you deserve to be called. Because you don't want nothing. You don't want to be nothing. So you deserve that title of being called a nigga. That's real. That's real, man. And I don't want to hear this shit about some, blacks need to go back to school. You know how many people that I know that got college degrees that's broke? Real talk. You know how many black people I know that got college degrees and they worked a job and they was making good money and then they got laid off and they couldn't do shit else. See, y'all joke about me, y'all joke on me when I say I hustle. But guess what? And then I don't have a conventional job, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I know how to make money without having a job. The question is, do you? You see, when all of this shit started hitting the fan, I still was making money. In the very beginning, when all this shit started hitting the fan, and now that it's hit the fan, I'm still making money. I'm the type of person that can be living in hell, which this is what hell is, if not the closest thing to it, and still make money. Yeah, I may not have the best clothes. I may not have these cars and this and that. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You know what I invest in the most? My health. That's something that I can control. Everything else I can't control. I can't control the economy. I can't control, it's obvious I can't control black people. But one thing I can control is my health. So I'll invest in and it makes sense, what I eat, what goes inside my body. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about going to college. Because people that go to college and get a college degree, they're not entrepreneurs. They're going out in the world to get a job. And then the next thing would be, vote. Regardless of whether I vote for Trump or Biden, the left wing or the right wing is still the same goddamn bird. You think some old ass Alzheimer motherfucker, Sleepy Joe, I forgot what I'm talking about. He be forgetting this whole, like there's a prompter right there. Just read the shit. He be shaking invisible people hands and shit. While he's supposed to be supposed to be a State of the Union, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be talking to America. This motherfucker got Alzheimer's disease and shit. And ain't nobody saying he got Alzheimer's and dementia at the same damn time. And it just bugs me out. How in the world are we investing in America? Where they don't give they don't give people a chance. Real people to be president of the United States of America. Real people that's gonna fucking change America and make it better. Make it great. Not again, just make it great, period. You think I'm gonna vote for two old motherfuckers that don't know what it's like to be a minority? Can't comprehend it, don't understand it. So, regardless of whoever I vote for, and which I'm not going to vote, but I'm just saying whoever, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, whoever I vote for, it's going to be the same damn 4 years it was last 4 years and last 4 years before that. A little bit better or worse. The end. And the next thing you want to tell me is what? Believe in God. I'm going to believe in God, right? Only person I see that's living heaven on earth are the preachers. These mega churches. And they just as bad as the priests. Touching little children. And getting caught. And if they ain't touching little children, oh, I'm going to get ill. In the black churches, homosexuality is running rampant all through it. So while you telling me to believe in God, and you at the pulpit preaching and talking about how God is this and God is that, and you get a blowjob at the church by a man, and you a man. Miss me with that bullshit. And y'all know it. Y'all know the church is corrupted now. And even when it wasn't, I don't think that shit ever was an option. Why? Because my great-grandmother believed in Jesus. My grandmother believed in Jesus. And guess what? He ain't never came. Never came. So I tell you what, I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to give you the same solution that I've been giving you this whole time. And that is, the only way that you're going to get out of this shit, it ain't Jesus. It ain't going to be Jesus. It ain't going to be Jesus. Because if it was, he should have came back a long time ago. It ain't going to be by way of a politician. Because politicians can be bought. It's real talk. It's not going to be, you going back to college. Because the education, this is the reason why, seriously, this is the reason why the youth don't want to listen to us. Just getting the education alone is not going to get you paid. But I'm going to tell you, the first step to changing your life, the first step to turning things around is to believe in yourself. I know you want me to give you a complicated answer with all these big ass polite words that he uses and all the rest of these hustlers, scammers use, but I'm not going to give it to you like that. I know you want me to hold your hand. I know you want me, not all of you, some of you all want me to take your responsibilities and make those responsibilities mine, and that's not going to happen. Because look what we've gotten thus far. You've given your responsibilities over to your politicians, over to your invisible God. Now, why don't you take your responsibilities? Why don't you take that soul that you have and be responsible for self? Because that's the only way you're going to get out of it, out of this situation. And it's just that plain and simple. I'm out.